A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Wednesday, August 7th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. Ulster County is taking a step forward in the fight against intimate partner violence with the expansion of its Intimate Partner Violence Intervention Task Force started by the District Attorney's Office. Law enforcement, prosecutors, and county officials announced they're growing a pilot program started in Kingston by Cassandra Seifert with $500,000 from the U.S. Justice Department. Now the effort to protect victims and hold offenders accountable while providing support services will be implemented county-wide. Sheriff Juan Figueroa explained that domestic and intimate violence calls can be the most volatile for law enforcement.
The most dangerous calls we get are domestic violence calls. And what this program did was focus on the perpetrators to explain to them and educate them and communicate with them what they're doing wrong. And of course, they're still going to get prosecuted for the things that they do wrong. But most victims don't want their loved ones to be prosecuted. They just want that behavior to stop.
County Executive Jen Metzger said that intimate partner violence is far too pervasive in the county. In a significant step toward enhancing pedestrian safety and accessibility, the Village of Rhinebeck has been awarded a $1.6 million grant from the State Department of Transportation. The funding, part of the Transportation Alternatives Program, is earmarked for developing a network of sidewalks aimed at creating safe routes for students traveling to and from local schools. Village Mayor Gary Bassett says the project will enhance the community's ongoing commitment to becoming a walkable, bikeable, sustainable community.
People driving down the roads are on their phones, talking to somebody in the car, doing whatever. Let's get the kids off the road. Let's get them onto the sidewalk where it's safe and they can get to the school safely. And let's promote walking. It's really an environmental, when it comes down to it, then it has the environmental issues associated with it that reduces cars, right? Hopefully reduces the number of people that are transporting their kids to school because it's not safe. And then more kids will be able to walk, ride or bike, alternative form of transportation. So not only is it safety, but there's an environmental impact as well.
The project will focus on establishing sidewalks from the intersection of South Street and South Parsonage Street down to Knollwood Road, ultimately connecting to the Chancellor Livingston Elementary School. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji, 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
A local political leader is reacting to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as the Democratic vice presidential candidate named by presidential candidate and current Vice President Kamala Harris. Orange County Democratic Chairman Zach Constantine said Harris's choice of Walz as her running mate is a decisive and powerful statement about her vision for the future. He said Governor Walz brings a wealth of experience and a proven track record of effective leadership that will help guide America toward prosperity. As a former congressman, teacher, and National Guard veteran, he understands the values of service, dedication, and integrity, qualities desperately needed in the White House, said Constantine. The Democratic chairman said in Minnesota, Governor Walz has shown that even in a state with a slim Democratic majority, he can work across the aisle to deliver tangible improvements to the quality of life for everyday Americans. An injured cliff jumper was rescued from the Delaware River Sunday afternoon after plunging from a popular summer hangout spot along the Pennsylvania side of the river that borders Port Jervis on the New York side. The injured man was assisted after a call for help brought emergency responders from both sides of the river as part of Battalion 8 Water Rescue. Port Jervis Assistant Fire Chief Anthony Fuller says the rescued individual had an injured shoulder and was helped from the river into Port Jervis's fireboat. He was then transported to a waiting ambulance. The area of cliffs that the man jumped from has been a popular destination for many generations that have leapt from various levels of the rock face. The section of the river below those cliffs, which is visible from across the river at Eddy Farm, typically has deep pockets along the rocky stretch of the Pennsylvania shoreline. On Monday afternoon, in a visit back to the location, dozens of young jumpers were seen taking the same actions from different heights along the cliff, none wearing life jackets. Rockland County legislators have voted unanimously to create a new program to provide grants of up to $1 million to the dependents of volunteer firefighters, EMS, and auxiliary police members who are killed in the line of duty. The Rockland County Volunteer Benefit Act recognizes the importance of volunteers and their service to the overall community and provides financial assistance to dependents to honor their loved ones' commitments and sacrifice. County Executive Ed Day, a retired NYPD lieutenant commander, backs the bill. Village police in Liberty have arrested a 39-year-old Queens man after an investigation into a fraud reported on August 1st. A village resident told police they believed they'd been the victim of a fraud. Earlier in the day, they'd been contacted by an individual purporting to be a federal law enforcement officer. That perpetrator threatened the resident with arrest if the local individual did not immediately withdraw $20,000 from their bank account and deliver it to another federal officer who would meet them in a public parking lot. Fearing arrest, the resident complied with the demand and delivered $20,000 to the suspect, later identified as Zhang Jinho, who was later tracked down in Flushing by Village of Liberty officers. He was brought back to Sullivan County and charged with felony grand larceny. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.